Hello everyone. In this session, we will be learning about the French defense. Let's see what is the French defense. To start, white moves this pawn forward. In response, black responds by moving this pawn forward. White then moves this pawn. And black replies by moving this pawn. This is the French defense. The idea behind the French defense is that black plays e6 to prepare to advance d7 to d5 in order to immediately challenge white's pawn on e4. The French defense is a solid but cunning opening. It has been played by some of the greatest chess players in the world. When black plays this move, he is targeting this pawn. White has many options here. He can advance the pawn or maybe even exchange it. But he might even have the idea of protecting it. Or maybe this way. But black will always have a solid central setup. These two pawns are always strong together. The French defense has great reputation. The French defense can be divided into four major variations. White's pawn on e4 is attacked, and there are only four ways to defend it, which correspond to each of the variations. The four major variations are advance variation, exchange variation, Tarasque variation, and the main line, like the third move of n to c3, knight to c3. So, now that white's pawn is attacked, and he must make a decision, he can advance it. This is called the advance variation. There is a possibility to exchange it too. This is the exchange variation. Or white can protect it. Or white can protect it like this. Finally, this is a main move. It's the main line of the French defense. In the advance variation, white's idea is to gain space in the center by blocking black's pawns on the light squares. The bishop on c8 will have a hard time joining the game, and that is actually one of the main themes in the French defense. Although it has been more popular before, the advance variation is still seen as a solid yet ambitious option against the French defense. In the advance variation, white gains space with this move to e5. A potential advantage is locking this bishop, which will be blocked by this pawn. White also aims to push this pawn, as if black responds to this, and eventually here, in order to break black pawn structure. In the exchange variation, white goes for the most solid and quiet system against the French defense. The structure becomes symmetrical, unlike in all other variations of the French. So, it is perfect for players who don't know a lot of opening theory or who prefer strategic battles over tactical ones. In the exchange variation, white goes for a symmetrical structure. After black takes back here, this is a solid and quiet setup. It's a perfect for strategic players because it avoids heavy theory. The Tarasque's variation is very popular, although it is not as aggressive as the main line, the third move of knight to c3. It offers chances for white to get a small advantage with safe play. It is a good variation for solid players who are not into aggressive lines but who do not like fully symmetrical positions like those that arise from the exchange variation. Let's set up the board first. This is the Tarasque variation. White protects this pawn. Now, this is no good. Now, this move is no good for black, as it can be met with even this move. So, black usually plays this, attacking the pawn once again, and white tries to advance it, gaining space and attacking the knight. This is a solid yet ambitious setup. In the main line of the French defense, white protects the pawn on e4 by moving the knight to c3. This leads to heavily theoretical lines where the black plays b4, maneuver variation, or nf6, the classical variation, which we will be talking about in another session which is coming on the future. Although you have to know a lot in order to be successful in the main line, it is very aggressive, tactical and ambitious, which means that it is perfect for players who enjoy this kind of fighting spirit. Let's set up the board once again. In the main line of the French defense, white plays this move, protecting this pawn over here. Now, black has the option to pin this knight or to simply attack the pawn again. What is the French defense? The French defense is a chess opening that leads to semi-open games. Black tries to establish a strong and supportive center with e6 to d5. You can see what it looks like below. To start, white moves this pawn forward, and again in response, black responds by moving this pawn forward. White then moves this pawn, and black replies by moving this pawn. This is the French defense. How to reach the French defense? First, white must move the king's pawn 2 squares, the first move as if e4. Then, black replies by moving his king pawn 1 square only, as e6. White takes over the center with the queen's pawn, second move d4. Black replies by trying to build a strong and supportive center. Second move d5. Take a look at the moves below. Why play the French defense? Learning the French defense is a great time investment because it can be used at the amateur level all the way to the highest levels of chess. Most white players are not well prepared against the French defense and find it difficult to get an advantage out of the opening at all. Please summarize what you have learnt in this lesson. Thank you.